All right, there she be. And if you are wondering, oh wait, hello there ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the intro being goofy, I'm still kind of sleeping. And if you're wondering, wait, why is it still light out and he's hiking? Well, there's a little bit of a complication. It is 2:01 in the afternoon, so I got about maybe 45 minutes of sleep, or something like that, and I was awoken by a very, very pleasant park ranger, I think, and I hope I'm not getting his classification wrong. Like I said, I'm still kind of sleeping. Letting me know that it would not be okay for me to be staying there. I was telling him exactly what I was doing and that I was just staying there for a couple more hours just to get some rest up before I do my trial, and he very apologetically said that that was not going to be okay. So I was going to have to start early. Whew. So I think that may make this a little bit harder. I just got done walking the 8 miles from the last shelter to where I just was, and I'm only gonna have about an hour, and here I am hiking again. So if this wasn't going to be challenging enough in the winter, in the snow, in the ice, and now the mud with basically zero sleep. Whew. The only thing this is gonna change is I will now be finishing, my 24 hours will be up at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. One good thing is I checked the weather, and tomorrow morning are AM showers. So by doing this, it will limit the amount of time that I'm actually going to be hiking in the rain. So that is a good thing, if it does and when it does rain. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. I had this whole spiel set up for how I was going to start this last video, and it is completely turned upside down. I completely overlooked the possibility that within the couple hours I was going to be staying up there. I wasn't even gonna set my tent up at the beginning. I was just gonna kind of prop up against a tree and sleep for a few hours, but I thought, hey, I'll set my tent up. So that was just silly. I shouldn't have done that, and I should have just stealthed in a little bit farther, but what can you say? You're not supposed to be up there, so I shouldn't have been doing it, and that's completely okay. It's the park services that keep these trails and the volunteers that keep us able to hike these trails. And I know there's a lot of people out there that'll say, well, I don't like this rule or that rule. Well, it's those rules that keep us able to do this and keep these as nice as they are. So I had no problem when he said that I shouldn't be there to pack up and go. I guess it slipped my mind. I had a really short period of time to plan for this hike, and I knew that when I got up here I wasn't going to want to hike any farther past. So as soon as I saw that side trail and I saw a flat area, I'm like, boom, I am here for a few hours and then I'm going to get going. So whew, that flipped me for a loop, but that means I get about 4 hours of daylight before it gets dark, and then I'll have the dark section will be right in the middle of my hike. I've got lots of coffee to keep me awake, and well, I think I'll be okay. So with that said, we're gonna go back to what I had said before. I was gonna do hourly updates. It is 2 o'clock right now. I've got my Spot GPS tracking me. So during this video, you should be seeing every hour my updates on mileage and time and pace and that sort of thing. And let's be underway. Wish me luck. Well, that wasn't too bad. 3 o'clock, checking in. If I do my math correctly, I just on the other side of Harper's Ferry, so I should be about 2.5 miles in that first hour, and I would like to keep I would like to keep a 2-mile-an-hour pace, so we are on pace. Next check-in will be at 4 o'clock. Snow? Where's the snow? All right, 4 o'clock. I've made it through Harper's Ferry and the flats. I'm not sure. If I had to guess, I was able to keep about a 3.5-mile-an-hour pace through there, so that maybe makes up for what I had at the beginning for 2.5 miles and gets me on at 6 miles now. Just to guess. Give you a little bit into my strategy. Because I just have to last. I mean, the whole name of this game is like the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise is just slow and steady, wins the race. So I'm planning on not taking really any breaks, but like on this mountain coming out of Harper's Ferry, just real nice and easy. I'll make up the time on the flats and the downhills. I don't have to press these, mainly to not tire myself out too much and to try to slow down that buildup of lactic acid in my muscles, which that lead to cramping and just tightness and stiffness that is just gonna make this that much harder. And so when going up hills, I'm really just gonna try to slow it down and mosey up the hills and then try to make up the time when the terrain's a little bit easier. So the snow, with the little bit I was sleeping this afternoon, the snow has turned to mud. All right, I'm out. See you in an hour. Well, okay. We are about, we gotta be close to 8 miles in. I was hoping to, by the time we hit 3 hours, I was hoping to be back here to the shelter that I stayed at last night, which would put me at 8 miles. And I keep thinking, around this next bend, I'll see it. I knew that climb out of Harper's Ferry was gonna be nice and slow, like I was saying. Just don't want to push it, ease my way into this, but I was hoping that I would still be able to keep 2 mile an hour. And if my calculations from beginning or from earlier were correct, that would lead me, well, at the shelter, and I'm not there yet. So I'm a little bit behind. Next landmark I have will be at 12 miles. There's that spigot where I'll be getting water. So hopefully I won't be there in the next hour, but I want to try to get there within that 5th hour, be 12 miles in. All in all, I'm into a groove. I'm hiking pretty good. The trail's melted enough that I'm not dealing with ice. It's a mixture of slush and mud, but solid enough that I'm not sliding too bad. So I'm happy with that. I will say there's a little bit of a level of uncomfortableness setting in my legs. I really wish I would have had more of a break splitting up the 8 miles out. I kind of feel like I'm at 16 right now, because I kind of am. But slow and steady. We'll be catching up with you guys in another hour. Goodbye, son. All right, 4 hours. Feeling pretty good. Actually, stopped for a brief 3-4 minutes and talked to a fella named Doug. I think his name was Doug. I'm so awful with names. If there's anybody out there watching this that I met on this trip, I would like to mention everybody. I just don't remember names very well. But I did meet some really nice people on the way out. Had some good conversations. I'm so bad with names, but if you're watching this, you know who you are. Thank you for the conversations. Anyways, so I was talking to Doug as the sun was going down, and he mentioned that he had a friend that was gonna do some moonlight hiking tomorrow because it was supposed to be very good for that. And now I see why. Get where you can see it maybe. If I turn the camera. Oh, you won't be able to see it yet, I don't think, in the camera. You'll get a chance to see it here in the next hourly update. Basically pretty darn close to a full moon. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it's gonna be bright enough that I may not even need my headlamp. I can just go off night vision. It'll make for the videos better. You may actually be able to see me if the moon's nice and bright. So we'll see. Otherwise, this may be the last video that you can really see me in because I have no way of shining a light on myself. But all in all, good. As soon as that sun broke the horizon over there, the temperature dropped. Not a lot, but I could feel it. But it's nice, it's cool. It's supposed to be like 35, 36 degrees all night. Nice calm night, no clouds in the sky. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better night to do it in. A little bit better planning, but anyways, onward down the trail. We'll see you in an hour. Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It is the night time. It's right at about 7 o'clock. Well, it's right at 7 o'clock. I don't know if you can see me, but I'm sure you can see the moon glowing beside me. It is lighting my path. It's actually lighting it good enough that I can see what I'm doing, and I don't feel like I need my headlamp. I can see where I'm going for the most part, except it doesn't light it up well enough for me to tell the difference between white and blue blazes. I took a little side trail a little while back and went to I think it's Campton Gap Shelter or something like that. So I got myself an extra half a mile for no reason. The blazes looked the same in the moonlight, and it wasn't until I got down to the bottom I noticed, oh crap. So this is going to be 40 whatever miles plus a half a mile. Well, and plus the 8 miles I did before my hour nap. So, update. I made it to the water source. That was my 12-mile mark. And I'm pretty sure, even with my little side trail to the Crampton Gap, I'm pretty sure I made another mile past that. So I would say I gotta be 13 plus miles, 13 and a quarter or so, which is good. 13 and a quarter in the first 5 hours. I'm making good time. The trail is a little bit rough. It's a little harder, a little slower going now because it's harder to see my foot placement and stuff. The north side of the mountains, my uphills are pretty bare and really muddy, and then the south sides are snowy and slushy. So neither are really great. As far as body condition, my pack's rubbing a little bit, but it's nothing too bad actually. And for only 5 hours, I'd hope that I was still in good shape there. My legs seem to feel like they're just going. You know, I can just keep going, but I will say I feel that the wetness in my boots from the slush and mud and snow, I'm developing a couple decent blisters on the balls of both of my feet. So that's a bummer, but it's a little bit late to do anything about it right now. It's just because my feet are a little bit wet and have been for a while, and I don't have time to dry them out. So those blisters will probably just have to hurt until I'm done. There you have it. All in all, I'm holding up pretty good. So we will see you guys. Well, hopefully in 2 hours, I will be where I stayed that second night and where I think Krusty's staying. Should be another 6 miles from here. So, but anyways, we'll be back in an hour to blab and try not to get eaten by animals. Well there, ladies and gentlemen, I've made it to 8 o'clock. I am 6 hours in. If my calculations are right, and this spot up here is 18 miles away, my guess is I'm about 16 miles in or so. And this last half hour or so, I've hit a real mental kind of wall. I splashed into some water, and because I was just trying to go off of the, well, not shining in my face, just trying to go off of the moonlight, and I splashed into some water, and my feet are basically just soaked. So I'm starting to get all sorts of rubs, getting rubs on either side, in the backs of my heels, and again with the blisters on the bottoms of my feet forming. So it's starting to hit me, and just gotta kind of try to power through that, get to this. I was planning on just, you know, trucking. I think I'm gonna get to this next spot hopefully within the next hour. So by 9 o'clock I'll get there, and I'm gonna take a second to try to pull my feet out of my boots, air them out a bit. Maybe I'll make that cup of coffee I never got a chance to make, and just regroup. I think it's needed. I wanted to see how far I could push it, just at a nice slow pace, and you know, 18 miles without stopping, not too shabby. So I think I'm happy with that to begin with, and I need a little bit of a, oh, there's that lookout. I need a little bit of a regroup to get the spirits back up again, and there you have it. So that is the update. I will see you in an hour. Well there, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't quite make it. The blisters and the rawness in my ankles got worse pretty quick, and I should have stopped. That's my own fault. I should have stopped when I first dunked my feet, but I've pulled off early, and I'm at this shelter. I'm going to get my boots off. I think it's right at 9 o'clock. I'm gonna get my boots off and assess the situation, but I may have done a little too much damage, but we'll have to see. The trail may have won this one. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you can probably already see, I didn't make it. I'm pretty disappointed. Well, one way I'm disappointed in how far I made it. But on the other side, I learned a lot in this trip. A lot about, what this challenge, is, and what are the obstacles to overcome. Um, I never saw the blisters in the feet being an issue. I never got any blisters on the AT, and our feet were wet all the time. I noticed now this morning, looking at my boots, my gaiters must have popped up at one point in time while hiking in the night, and I ended up getting a little bit of mud that kind of probably got mixed in around the rim of my boot. And that's where a lot of the rubbing was happening. If I would have stopped, sooner and taken care of that, it wouldn't have probably been as big of an issue. My feet actually don't feel that bad this morning. It's just I'm kicking myself in the butt. Mentally, I don't think I was prepared. I did a lot of physical preparation, but as soon as it got tough, I was ready to go every step of the way and just keep going, and my legs were still feeling okay. But once that pain was every step with each foot, it just beats you down mentally. I went to a couple hours of that, and I came down to the shelter and called my wife, and I told her I was done. I don't know if I would have waited a while, if I could have tried again. But as soon as I stopped, I was getting cold, so I quickly set up my sleeping pad and stuff and crawled in my bag, and once I did, there was no prying me out of it at that point in time. But either way, I've got all the information I need. This isn't the last time you'll see me on this trail. This isn't the last time you'll see me do this challenge either. I don't ever think of a failure as the end. It's won one of the battles this trail has. It's beat me in a battle, but I'll definitely be back. And I know exactly another one of its tools that it can beat you down with, and I'll prepare for it next time. And I'll have a better chance next time. And it may take me 3 or 4 times to succeed, and sometimes that makes the victory all that much better, is when it's that much harder and that it takes you that much more time. I think I'm gonna add one more video to this series, and maybe do live or something where just kind of going over my strategy coming into this and how I can change it for my next attempt, and how I can be better prepared. So, crap. Well, thank you very, very much for watching this video. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and we will see you later on down the trail. And remember, keep it between the blazes.
Exactly. To you until we meet.
Oh, he was gonna pull away though.
Happy trails to you. Smiling until then.
Here, we can walk
I am
around.
happy trails.